What's going on, guys? Happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Bitcoin currently up 2%. Having a great day in the markets right now. We're seeing green pretty much across the board. Ethereum up over 1%. Total 3 up almost 1%. Stock market flat. Okay. We're going to be talking about some pretty interesting stuff for this week. What's going on in the markets, what the next 72 hours could bring for the markets, and I'm going to back that up with some charts. We're also going to be talking about some news that's happening in the crypto markets as a whole, which will affect your altcoins. We're also going to be getting into some altcoins setups and price predictions. Namely, we're going to be talking about Quant, we're going to be talking about Litecoin, and we're going to be talking about a smaller coin here that was requested by one of my viewers. It's going to be about Sensay AI, which will be SNSY. It's a small altcoin, so it should be fun. And of course, it's gonna be pretty risky as well. But I think we're gonna have fun talking about it. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, you guys should know that I dive deep into the charts every day to find the moves before they actually happen, because that's how I turn more of my trades into profitable ones, by getting into lower risk setups rather than chasing pumps on the day of. If you guys have actually chased pumps on the day of, let me know how that has worked out for you. I'm not saying to never do it, but it's definitely higher risk, and I have been there, done that. It has been a lot more stressful than just trading lower risk setups itself. And if you guys want to learn technical analysis and charts, so you can actually see the market a lot more clearly for yourself, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, letting me know what you guys want to see. I will pick one of you guys to do every day. And if you guys, what was I gonna say? I think that's basically it. Let's go ahead and dive into the charts here, and the news. Okay, um, let's see. First piece of news, my instant reaction here. Michael Saylor's strategy scoops 1,045 Bitcoin for $110 million. Trove tops 40 billion near record highs. I mean, I think this is definitely bullish for crypto. If not in the short term, at least in the longer term here, right? So it could be why we're seeing a rise right now for Bitcoin, up 2%. Okay. Next piece of news, that was by Crypto News, and I am seeing all this news here on TradingView, which will give you chart indicators, charts, news, trader ideas. There are other traders posting their ideas. It is a software I have been using for the past over 5 years of trading. I don't think I would have learned technical analysis the right way if it was not for TradingView. I do have an affiliate link in the description section below, so check that out. If you guys use my link below, I will get a sign up commission if you guys sign up using my link, so that supports my channel. And thank you very much. They do have plans for under 20 bucks. That's, you could probably make that back in a profitable trade, or at least in terms of the education you'll get. Next piece of news here, news BTC, Bitcoin weekly chart flexes strength. Is this the moonshot just getting started? Now, I want to talk about this because I could very much comment on this. And coming back to the weekly chart here, this is what it's talking about. So we have just bounced off a higher low here on this weekly chart. And what is special about this higher low is because right here, the previous candle close, which was right here the week of December 9th and December 16th, those were terrible weeks for Bitcoin. I remember that drop. It was not pretty. And we have bounced off that resistance as support at about 104K-ish. And we're seeing a higher low here. And in terms of an uptrend, right, if you hold a higher low, the next logical move is a higher high. Now, why am I talking Bitcoin all the time? Because it is the driver of the markets. If you guys don't know that, it is very important to know. Because if Bitcoin pumps, you can expect the altcoins to be pumping or soon follow. If Bitcoin dumps, very similar things could be happening in Bitcoin altcoins. That's why I have my watch list set up like this. It's because I can take a look at the overall bigger markets before looking into the smaller markets. Okay, I have ES1 exclamation mark, which is the stock market, Bitcoin, Ethereum, total 3, right? So this is the weekly chart, and that's my thoughts on the weekly chart on this piece of news here by News BTC. Next chart here, next piece of news here, crypto potato. Bitcoin BTC price soars above 107K as US and China resume trade talks in London. Yeah, that's definitely good news in the macro overview, okay? 107K is also very important because I talked about this yesterday, because that's also the last moving average that I am seeing as resistance. The last longer term moving average I'm seeing as resistance, which was the daily 21 SMA. I talked about this yesterday, 106.5K here. Also talked about this falling wedge pattern yesterday. Price target is going to be just short of 113K, right? All right, next piece of news. Ether crypto fund sees 296 million inflows in best week since Trump election. Yeah, I have been seeing that Ethereum has been catching up. It has actually been performing better than Total 3 in a more recent time frame here. But it is still got to believe. It's still got to break above the daily 200 SMA. Okay. So, but if Bitcoin holds above its 200 SMA, daily 200 SMA, I don't see why the altcoins will not be able to catch up. All right, next piece of news, Cointelegraph. All right, that was the previous one was also by Cointelegraph. Next one, Bitcoin price will see short-term correction before 140K analysts says. Okay. I think that's possible, and let me also mention a possible bearish scenario here. Okay. So there could be, so there was a very high RSI reading here on this daily time frame that was created on May 22nd, right? Now it is possible that this could create a double top, right? And that would probably cause a that is one of the scenarios that could cause a correction, right? Um, so it's very important to be watching the daily time frame here. What happens when it gets to about 112, 113K? Would this create a double top with bearish divergence? Something to be keeping in mind of. But there are also a lot of bullish signals like the weekly charts as well. Of course, also gotta be keeping in mind of the monthly charts because there is still bearish divergence scenario on the monthly chart, but there has been exceptions where, if there's a big breakout coming, that bearish divergence could be invalidated. Namely, back in November 2024, the weekly charts, December 2020, the monthly chart, where those divergence signals has been invalidated. All right, let's go to ES1 exclamation mark. Why am I saying that the next 72 hours is going to be very key? Okay, so I am talking about this rising wedge here, right, that I've talked about yesterday as well. And rising wedges typically break to the downside. And if this one does, because it is running out of room, I would say in the next 3 daily candles, it's going to reach the end of this rising wedge. Okay, so next 72 hours, very important for Bitcoin, for altcoins, because stock market very highly correlated with the crypto markets. Okay, so next 3 daily candles, ES1 exclamation mark, gonna be very interesting to see. If this thing drops Oh man, it's most likely gonna drag a lot of the cryptos down here, and Bitcoin, of course. But if this thing breaks to the upside against its probabilities, that is gonna be very significant in terms of an upside move. Okay, let's take a look into Sensay AI SNSY. See what's going on in this market. This is one of the coins that was requested by one of my viewers. If you guys want to make any requests, just drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I will choose a request to do for you guys every day. Now let's come over here to the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame is trying to actually, you know, bounce back from this huge downtrend, like with a lot of the altcoins in the market. Okay, um, so it is trying to get above some weekly moving averages as resistance. Okay, weekly 21 SMA 0.18 cents. That is the next moving average to be paying attention to. Weekly 50 SMA 0.236 cents. Okay, the white line here. Now let's zoom in a little bit. Zooming in, daily time frame, still running within this falling wedge pattern, which typically breaks to the upside. Okay, let's just say, for example, only an estimate, okay, that it breaks to the upside by tomorrow. Okay, price target is going to be about 0.2275 cents here. Price targets. Now, price targets are estimates only. It could be more, it could be less. There could be a lot of things that could happen in between, such as a fake out, right? And if that happens, we're gonna come back here and follow up on this chart and see what this market has done. Of course, this is also a altcoin that is very small. I checked the ranking; it was under 1,000, so it's a very risky altcoin. You just gotta know what you're getting yourself into. These coins have some pretty big upsides, but also very big downsides. So if you guys are newbies, just be careful and know what you're getting yourself into. Okay. I personally, I don't put too much money into any one particular small altcoin in general. Okay, I like to kind of spread my funds around different smaller markets. I do like playing the smaller markets because they have a lot of upside, but they also have a lot of downside. So I try to spread my funds across different smaller altcoins. So I don't take that. Mean that kind of diversifies the risk itself. Now, let's take a look into the next one. And of course, all of this have to be taken, I take into consideration of Bitcoin, okay? And if Bitcoin pumps, that's very good for most, if not all, altcoins. And if Bitcoin dumps, that's not going to be good, right? You could expect the altcoins to follow soon after. And of course, what I'm saying here is purely my opinions and speculations, and none of what I'm saying in this video is financial advice. Okay, so do your own due diligence as well. Don't take my word for it. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. We're going to be talking about Quant USDT. See what's going on in this market here. All right, Quant. It is a bigger market. It is a top 100 by market cap, so a lot less risky. Okay. So let's come over here to the weekly time frame. Okay, it has quite a bit of data, right? It looks like it's trying to bounce back from this bottom right here, which was this recent bottom was at about $65. Okay, 12-hour time frame, huge. I mean, kind of a big falling wedge pattern that broke to the upside. Price target $147 Quant. Now, it has broken out quite some time ago, but this is a bigger altcoin, okay? And right now, this is 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, cup and handle pattern, trying to break out of this pattern. Resistance at about 120 bucks. Okay, price target out of this cup and handle pattern is going to be about $137. Did not just make this up. This measure move is measured by measuring the top of the pattern to the bottom of the pattern. Put that measure move on top of the pattern, and you get your measure targets. Okay, that is just technical analysis. Go ahead and do some chat GPT research on these patterns that I'm talking about. Is going to give you a very efficient response, and you can learn it pretty quickly that way too. All right, let's go over here to the next one, Litecoin. All right, Litecoin. What is going on in here? Not much has really changed in terms of the weekly time frame. This huge falling wedge still in play. Measure move, if it breaks out by that point, it's going to be about $190 Litecoin. If it does not break out by that point, move the measurement along the top trend line. All right, let's zoom in. Now, this is what I do. If I want to get more clues on if the price action is still continuing towards its target, is I zoom in and see what could potentially happen that could lead up to a bigger time frame move. Okay, so let's come over here on the daily time frame. Okay, this falling wedge still in play, still broke out, still valid. Price target is about $123. Trying to get above the daily 200 SMA, the orange line, as resistance for Litecoin. 4-hour time frame just broke out of this smaller falling wedge pattern. Price target $103 for the actual breakout point. So that is basically what Litecoin is trying to do. Okay. Now, if you guys want to see any more of these coins as a follow-up, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. This wraps it up for this video for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.